I'm going to be unpacking quite a few things as far as what is going on with the collective consciousness of Black men, specifically as it relates to the feminine energy of this planet, Black women, women in general, and misogyny. Okay, misogyny. Um, so yeah, if you're new to my channel, this is the place where I unpack what primal feminine energy is, what has been done to the planet, what has been done to the collective consciousness of everyone on the planet to where we have completely lost touch with the feminine energy of the planet, our understanding of what it means to be feminine, our understanding of what it means to be a woman, and how to really put the pieces back together and begin to embody our true nature as women. So that is what Earth's Feminine is all about. On this channel, you can call me Asaya the Creatrix. I am the owner and founder of the Creatrix Academy and earthsfeminine.com. So I have the links down in the little bar. Earthsfeminine.com is the place where you can go to sign up for my Wealthy Women Activation Training and also the Soft Life Experience. You can get a little add-on from earthsfeminine.com to enroll into the Wealthy Women Activation Training and the Soft Life Experience. The Wealthy Woman Activation Training is teaching you how to step into your wealthiest version through changing your identity. So in the Wealthy Woman Activation Training, I'm teaching you 3 powerful steps to basically begin to rewire how you function and how you relate to yourself in the real world, how to change your identity in real time, actively every single day when you are being faced and triggered with um, emotions, basically the emotions of maybe not being wealthy, not having the love you desire, not being the version of yourself that you want to be. And the soft life experience is the add-on for women who are wanting to figure out, how do I step into being financially supported by the men that are in my life right now, or the man that is in my life right now? Um, how do I step into being financially supported by the universe in general? Right? That is a soft life experience. You can find that at earthfeminine.com. And then again, the Creatrix Academy is my online school where I am teaching all about the mystical art of feminine energy. I have courses ranging from how to step into your health and your beauty to become more attractive, to feel at home in your body, to really understand what it means to be centered in your feminine energy within your body. And I have 2 of the courses that are in the banner that are now available right now for you to enroll into for only $297. Okay. The original prices of these courses is way more than that. And for a limited time only for this month, the pre-enrollment for you to sign up and get access before I go in and upgrade everything is $297. Okay, so if you are interested in signing up for that, or at any point during this live, you can send me a DM to my Instagram at Earth's Feminine and let me know that you are ready to be worshipped, that you are ready to step into your manifestation powers and being able to manifest the love you desire and manifest the wealth you desire. And also, the love potion is all about really diving deep into what makes you and what draws love to you. So I was going to say what makes you magnetic, but really what makes you magnetic to men, what makes men fall in love with you, and how to really rewire the patterns that are embedded into you that is causing you to attract and create certain relationship patterns in your life over and over and over again. These relationship patterns can look like anything. Maybe you are always attracting men who are not loyal, who don't prioritize you. Maybe you're always attracting men who are married. I know some women have this knack for attracting men who are literally have another relationship. Um, Whatever it is, whatever the pattern is, we are breaking all of that down and rewiring it. And you are also understanding what it really takes to create love in your life and also make a man fall in love with you, have a man be in love with you. So anyway, that's all of that. That is all of that I'm offering. And we're going to do something really different in today's live video. Shout out to the people who are here with me. When I get about halfway through the video and I'm kind of done unpacking everything I want to unpack, I'm going to be putting the invite link. Actually, I can just do that right now, and when it's time, you guys can come on to my live and we can chat. You can share what your thoughts are. If you have any questions, you can share what your questions are. So I'm going to put that link into the chat, and when it's time for you guys to come in, I will let you in. So I'm going to go ahead and see how I can pin this. Okay, I don't know how to pin that right now. Okay, so let's dive into this, okay? Black men are under a spell. You cannot tell me anything other than there is some crazy spell work, sorcery, witchcraft going on within the minds of Black men. Like, you cannot tell me anything otherwise. And for the Black men that are not under the spell or have broken the spell, they have gotten in touch with the divine feminine. They have a relationship with the divine feminine, with feminine energy, in a way that has been able to protect them from the sorcery and the witchcraft at hand. I am telling you, this is not a game. Okay, I did a video last year around this same time when Nature Boy went to jail for life, and Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart, Kevin Samuels, passed away. And I really wanted to unpack just how spiritually weak a lot of men are, because their minds become so susceptible and so what's the word, just weak, right? They just become so weak to dark entities, dark spirits, and this energy that is here, right? It's this parasitic energy. It is this entity, this energy that does not want to see life and the way life is supposed to be intended to be. It just doesn't want to see that. And I found that Black men who are not connected to the divine feminine, Black men who do not have a powerful relationship with authentic and primal feminine energy, fall prey to these entities, right? When I talk about entities and energies, for those of you who are not on that wavelength, let me just break that down for you real quick, okay? Whenever bad things happen, whenever things are happening that are considered evil, dark, not normal, not natural, it is a type of parasitic energy that is at play. And what we know about and what we understand about parasites is the physical parasites, is that when they enter the body, they control your mind. They control your mind, they control how you think, they control what you want, they control what you do. And a lot of the times, this is what's happening on a physical level, but also on a spiritual level. This is also what's happening as well. Okay? The parasite likes to see you suffer. The parasite likes to see you weak. It's feeding off of you. So the more you pour into it, dark energies, it could be simple things like the way that you think, right? And the sadness, the grief, the constant creation of turmoil in your life. The parasite feeds off of that. Okay? And it grows from that. The entity itself grows from that. So the way that we understand physical parasites is the same thing for the way a spiritual parasite works in our minds. And Black men just seem to be just completely way more susceptible to being taken by that stuff, because women are much more spiritually powerful, and we have, when we are connected to that primal feminine energy. So you can't tell me that there is no energy at play to where it's putting Black men under this haze to where they're just falling into the same old thing. It's like a repetitive pattern that they're all playing out. The same old thing. Okay. So I'm going to get into pretty much everybody's face that you see in the thumbnail. Everybody's head that you see in this thumbnail. I'm going to be getting into the situation and the spell work at hand and how that relates. Okay. So the first thing I really want to unpack and get into is the Halle Bailey and DDG situation. How Halle Bailey has just recently put DDG um in a restraining order or a protection order on him because of the abuse that he has been basically putting her through probably since they got together. Okay. And I really want to unpack this relationship and even the way people have been looking at it, because when people look at Hallie and and the way that the situation has boiled over into what it is now, people are saying, well, the signs were there and we told her what was going on, like she should have listened and everything like that. Halle Bailey's situation also hit home for me because I felt like I was watching the same thing that I went through in my life in my early 20s when I was 20, 21 years old, and I had my daughter. It was like everything was playing out like all over again. And it wasn't just with Halle Bailey that I witnessed this happening all over again. This happened with, I mean, the Nature Boy situation. When that whole thing came out, I was like basically witnessing my situation play out again with these other women. And that was hitting home even more because a lot of those women that were victims of Nature Boy were from my home city, which is New Orleans. Okay. And also, um, this when the situation with young Pharaoh happened and Golden Beauty, and that was all playing out, I was looking at that like, why do I feel like I'm watching the same thing that I went through play out again? Okay. So a little bit of backstory into my story, just a little bit, okay, is that it's the same situation, right? You get into a relationship and you don't think anything of it. because you're basically like a newborn babe. Okay, you're a newborn babe. You're young. You're in your early 20s, early teens, and all you know is what you know and what has been validated to you. And if you haven't been raised with the rearing that is specifically educating you on what is going on in the collective right now, then you're going to be lost to a degree as to what's going on. You're not going to know like that these men are toxic. You're not going to know that this isn't normal. The things that you're going through, the behavior that you're going through, all of these things isn't normal. So though a lot of people are saying about Hallie, oh, she should have known and we told her and this is just what happens, the reality is these men are validated by society. They have been validated by society. They are continuously validated by society. And even if somebody comes out, even if another woman comes out, even if people come out and say, this person did this to me, and they have proof or evidence, this person abused me, blah, 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 it doesn't matter because these men are validated by society, by our communities, right? And when I say validated, I mean he's gonna like these men are gonna, well, at least in the DGG, there's a lot of people who are calling him other things other than DGG, but especially in the DDG scenario, okay, he's validated. He's validated by society. He's validated by the community. Like right after everything came out with the restraining order, he released songs back to back. These back to back songs with who on the track? With who on the track? You had Wiz Khalifa on one of the tracks. You had Shinsea on one of the tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like this man is validated by society, by the Black community. Like these men are validated. So for you to expect Hallie to be like, oh, I mean, like everybody's saying that something's wrong with him, but he's being validated. Nobody is saying, no, we can't do any songs with you. Nobody is saying, um, nah, you know what? This is like we can't do this with you anymore. In the Black community specifically. It may be in other places, right? I'm sure he probably lost some endorsement deals, like professional stuff. I'm sure he probably lost on that end. But as far as the community of Black people, we continue to validate men that are crazy in the head, okay? That are deranged in the head, okay? So I could 100%, I can relate to Halle Bailey and all the other women that I mentioned who were dealing with Nature Boy, who were dealing with Young Pharaoh, because that was my experience. Even though I had people in my reality, like my mom or close friends of the family, kind of like throw hints or say little things like, yeah, I don't think you should keep continuing with him, or yeah, y'all are arguing a lot, or yeah, I don't really know about this. Like, even though I was getting that, which mind you, even that isn't enough. Like, that isn't enough. I'm telling you right now, that's not enough. In order to protect the minds of young Black women who are getting in, who want to be with Black men, you have to be real and straight up and you have to tell the truth. Because all that, oh, well, I mean, you guys are arguing, so I don't know if you should be together, or, I don't like, no, you need to straight, like, there needs to be more clarity and more, um, and more of a real understanding of what is going on right now in our community. And that is that Black men are damn near terrorists to Black women. They are damn near terrorists. Okay? when they are operating under the collective consciousness of where Black men are currently at. If you want to be an evolved, high level, high respecting, like if that is who you are stepping into as a Black woman, and you choose to be with a Black man, just know there's going to be some level of misogyny that you're going to have to like do your magic as a Black woman and break that spell. That's the only way. That is the only way. And the only way that that magic will work is if that man loves you, like literally has love in his heart for you. Now, if his heart is messed up and all, like it's almost like they're lost. But the only way to break it at this point is if a man like truly can connect to his heart. And even then, that is an aspect of the divine feminine. Connecting to our hearts is the divine feminine. Your heart is the divine feminine. Love is the divine feminine. True love, real love. Okay? So these men are validated. We can't sit up here and say, "Oh, like we told her so. Why did she stay for so long? Why do these women stay?" Because these men are validated, and that is the sole reason. Because society and our community hasn't gotten to a point yet, which it will. Oh, we getting there. We're getting there. Trust and believe that. We are getting there because the way things are going thus far, it's not looking good. Okay. As far as for the Black community, okay. Women who are stepping into their femininity, women who are understanding their worth, who they are, their magic as a woman again. A lot of these women are like, I'm no longer going to exclusively date Black men. Actually, I don't want to. Why would I do that? That's scary for a lot of Black women. I'm just be honest. It's scary because either they have to do one or two things. Okay? And both are scary. One is actually a good scary, the other is a bad scary, okay? Either they're going to step into their power, realize their worth, and begin to embody their truest self, all of the things that make them a woman, their primal feminine energy, all of those things with, mind you, we're going to be getting into that in the love potion. Send me a DM if you would like to be a part of that. Or she's going to make herself smaller, or she's going to settle, or she's going to shrink. And right now, as far as I can tell, for the collective of Black women, we are being called to rise. We are being called to rise and leave whatever cannot come with us behind. I remember when I was in my situation, okay, when I was in my early 20s and I was leaving, right? I was leaving the toxic and narcissistic relationship that I was in, because that's exactly what it was. Okay. I was 20 years old, 21 years old with a 29-year-old, okay? And was being used for my energy, for my effort in the relationship. Okay, I was taking care of this man's kids, helping him take care of his kids. I was helping him with his business. I was helping him with a ride, with a car. Okay, he was using my car, driving my car around when his would break down. Only to be being lied to and basically cheated on for the entire duration of the relationship. And then after that, find out I'm pregnant. And then once I found out I was pregnant, my instincts told me that it was time to dip, because his reaction to me finding out that he was cheating on me was crazy. Like, when I meet men now and they try to play like some narcissistic stuff with me, I'm like, y'all don't know what I done been through because I didn't seen this before. Thank you. No, thank you. Goodbye. Okay. Getting completely blamed and chewed out when I'm the one that got cheated on. Okay. I was just finding out I was pregnant at the time. So I decided to leave and go to Washington State, leave New Orleans, go to Washington State. I had family there. They invited me out there, and so I took the leap and I left. But because there was a lot of things that I still needed to work through, okay? I stayed connected to him because I was pregnant. Naturally, you're as a woman, you're going to be like, "Okay, I, I want my child to have a father, right?" But that was a bad idea. Okay. Long story short, it got so bad. The abuse got so bad. The harassing got so bad. I mean, this man just I don't know, like it's like he just enjoyed dragging me. He enjoyed going off on me, like sending me evil, nasty emails, text messages. He was trying to like I was attempting to start my own business, do my own thing. I would see him like saying like, "Oh wow, look at you trying to lie to make money," and like reposting stuff, saying bad things about me. And I'm just like, this man is literally insane. All I have to do is exist. All I have to do is exist. And it seems like that pisses him off. All I have to do is just want my own space, my own peace, and that pisses him off. And it got so bad to the point where I was like, I don't know what else to do. At the time, honestly, I had a horrible support system. I mean, horrible support system. As far as like the advice I was getting, it was strangers, not my own family, but strangers who was telling me that this man was abusive. Nobody else in my immediate environment straight out and analyzed his behavior and was like, this man is abusing you. So it was like a cloud I was living in. It was hard to see through what was happening to me. And again, that led me to diving deeper and realizing like, yeah, I think this trauma also stems deeper from my family, from my past, yada, yada, yada. So those are all things that, one second, I have to plug in my laptop. Those are all things that I had to realize, okay, this is a part of why I'm experiencing this. But it got so bad to the point where I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know how to get him to leave me the fuck alone. I did not know. So he kept telling me he was going to expose me. He was going to expose me and have everybody see how much of a horrible woman I am and how horrible mother I am for keeping him from his child. And when I tell you, that is just all lies. Whenever a man starts saying that she's keeping me from my child, it's just a lie. Like, it's just flat out a lie. I never believe it. I never believe it. It's a mental illness that men have. That is what keeps them away from their children. Mental illness keeps men away from their children. Because when a woman is in her power, when a woman is standing on business, that scares men who want to come into her life and use her and control her and be a parasite, basically steal her energy. They can't do that when a woman is in her power. And so what they say is, oh, she's keeping me from my daughter. No, you're just not elevated. You're not at that level energetically. You are not that man. So I'm repelled. Your energy is repelled by me. That's just the truth. Your energy is repelled to come into contact with me or your child, because I'm not playing that, and you damn sure not gonna infect my child. That's what you're not gonna do. That's what you're not gonna do. And it's about time. It is about time that this just get nipped in the bud. That this gets nipped in the bud, because it's sickening. So let me just get to what I had to end up doing. Like, I applaud Halle Bailey, because clearly Halle Bailey has a loving family. She has a great support system. There was somebody helping her and letting her know, girl, go to the police, file a restraining order, get full custody of your child. Okay. I didn't have anybody advising me. I didn't have none of that. All I had was my instincts. My instinct said, go somewhere far, far away where, you know, he will have to pay a lot of money to have to come try and be in your energy and try to come see you. Okay, go somewhere really far away where it's going to cost him a lot of money to come and see you. Okay, I wasn't consciously thinking that, but I realized after the fact, I'm like, dang, I like literally went across the country. There's no way he can pop up at my house. There's no way he can threaten, to come. And there's none of that. Okay. But it got so bad that I had to basically expose him. All the things he was threatening to expose me on, I had to go online and I had to expose him. I had a big Instagram following at the time. Well, not that big. It was mediocre, okay? But I had like around 14,000 followers on Instagram. A lot of them were like people from New Orleans, people like, all over the place, honestly, all over the place. I exposed him. I exposed him on my Instagram. I showed every crazy text message well, not every single one, honestly, because Instagram only lets you add up to 10, I think, posts at that time into the little slider. But I exposed the back-to-back phone calls. I exposed the crazy messages. I exposed my responses where I'm literally like, can you please calm down? Can you please stop talking to me this way? Can you please, literally, just like Halle Bailey, it's almost like I'm begging this fool to have common sense and decency for me as a postpartum mother that had a high risk pregnancy. Okay. I almost lost my life giving birth to this man child. And he didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a flying fuck. That is how sickening this energy is that just takes over these men. They don't have any recollection for the damage that they're doing and the energy that they're putting onto people. None. And even to this day, right? I'm sure he's going on and on and on about how everything is my fault. I'm sure of it. And I don't give a fuck. It's none of my business at this point. None of my business. But at that time, I exposed him and I put it all out there. And I was able to get some peace. Okay. I was able to get some peace and have people really see what was actually going on. And at that point, there was a lot of people who didn't even want to do business with him anymore. Not a lot of people want to do business. People was eyeing him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, how do you sleep at night? Acting like you're a certain way on camera for people to see you in your business, in the community, but then behind closed doors, you are a monster. How do you sleep at night? You need help. And it's the same situation with Halle Bailey, right? Not only Halle Bailey, this is the same situation with, this was a long time ago, but with Rihanna, right? It's like people continue to validate these men. Nobody's holding them accountable. Nobody's telling them the truth. And we continue to do business. We continue to praise and listen to the sob stories of men that are sick, that are just sick. And once I exposed him, not only did that happen, right? The shift in me also realizing that I had self-worth, realizing that I had power, realizing that I didn't deserve to be treated this way. Not only did that happen, but I had a boatload. I mean, by the riverbanks, I had women coming in my DMs, sending me screenshots, sending me messages about how they have been through the same exact thing, about how they're going through the same thing with their black man. This man is treating me the exact same way and I just haven't said anything, or I've been trying to get away from this man for so long, but I don't know how. Like, it was wild. It was like I was in the twilight zone. I'm like, and not all of these women were black. I'm going to be honest. I had maybe like a couple that was Hispanic. I had a couple that was Hispanic, or um from the Latin community, Persian ancestry, all of that. So it was wild to me. It was like I was in the twilight zone. And that was really the beginning of me realizing that something was fucking wrong. And then again, as I started to kind of watch things play out online, on social media, with the Nature Boy situation, with the young Pharaoh situation, um, I'm pretty sure there were a lot of other situations that went down. Um, that was when I really started. That's when the light started turning on for me as a young woman, that something was just wrong with the way that black men think. And also with the spirit of women that we have allowed ourselves to be beaten down and shrunken to such a place to where we don't even recognize or notice the small signs, right? The small little signs before it gets to that place to where you feel like you have to protect your life. You have to defend your life. Um Somebody says, N1 says, that's Riri fault. Her taste in men is wacky. Um yeah, I don't know about that. Um I don't know about that. Her taste in men is not wacky. Okay, so I don't know about that. Um what we're not going to do is we're not going to defend the abused in the comments. So that's what we're not going to do over here. Um it was not her fault that a man decided to black her face out because she was addressing him on, again, the same thing, on cheating. That's what we're not going to do. So, regardless of how you think, what you think a woman's taste in men is, it doesn't matter. See, this is another thing that I had to talk about in my what is a high value woman video, because some of y'all think that you're above being treated a certain way by men. Yes, when you know your worth, when you discover who you are, you know your power, and you start to develop a level of discernment, yes, you will be able to see things and spot things and dip out and move accordingly a lot easier than a young woman who has never experienced anything in love or relationships, who doesn't understand the collective consciousness of men. It's not fair for you to say that she has bad taste, because again, these men are validated. Chris Brown was a validated superstar. superstar singer that everybody loved, that a lot of people still love, right? He's validated. So how is her taste in men wacky? He's validated. People validate him. Only a woman who who has developed that level of discernment and who has been educated will understand that just because the world validates a man does not mean that he is a good man. Excuse me. It does not mean that he's a good man. What do you think about ASAP Rocky? I don't think anything about him. I think one thing and one thing only. If you are if you are a black man who is married to the woman of his, right? Like, you're married. If you're a black man, you're married and you are taking care of your wife and your kids and you're doing what you're supposed to do. I don't have any opinions on that. I think that that's great. I don't care how much. Listen, Rihanna's a billionaire. Okay, ASAP Rocky, he's a millionaire. A lot of people have a problem with that, like, oh, she dated down because she's a billionaire, and like, if he is doing everything, if he's giving her everything that she needs out of a relationship, okay, then fine by me. There's a lot of women who are way richer than their husbands, but their husbands fill the gap in other ways by being her devout servant. Okay. By being her devout servant. And when I look at that relationship, I feel like he serves her the way that he should. It's when a man is not in service to his woman and he's in service to his ego. It's when a man confuses serving his woman with being weak, with being a simp, with being all of these things. A man is supposed to serve his woman because his woman represents the extension of source energy. She represents love. She represents life. What else are you supposed to serve? Okay. For me, I'm not religious. And I don't really subscribe to any religion because I believe in worshiping myself. If I'm going to be honest, I believe in worshiping the goddess that is me. I believe in worshiping and and honoring my connection to the feminine through nature, through animals, through loving my body, loving myself. And that is the natural divine order of things. When you are a woman, when you are a man, when a man is understanding his relationship to God and the divine, the woman has to be at the center of that understanding, not below or not underneath. So yeah, I think that their relationship is beautiful. And she's pregnant again with another baby. And congratulations to them. So I don't think Rihanna had bad taste in men when it came to the Chris Brown situation whatsoever. I think that she falls under the same category as what's happening with Halle Bailey and what's happened to a plethora of other Black women who choose to be with Black men who are under that spell. And like I said at the beginning of the video, okay, the spell will get broken real quick with a man who is truly in love with you, who truly has discovered love through you and with you. It'll get broken real quick. And he'll wake up. And he'll realize and he'll start to see what's going on. See, because when you're under a spell, you cannot see what is going on. It is like like how I was describing my situation earlier. It was like I was in a cloud, right? I was in a daze. I couldn't see what was happening. Sorry, y'all. I'm just getting over like a cold. So I'm going to have to blow my nose here in a second. But it's like a haze, okay? When you're under a spell, you cannot, you don't see what's happening because it's spell work. It's your subconscious mind that is being tampered with through the moon. And when you don't have that relationship with the moon, aka feminine energy, you will fall susceptible to a lot of these different things. All right, y'all. About to blow my nose. I'm gonna go over here. All right, let's talk about some of the other scenarios that have been going on. I want to unpack them. Let's talk about some of these other scenarios. Shout out to those of you who are in the live video, who are in the room right now. All right, let me look at. All right, so yes. All right. So like I said, this is causing a lot of Black women to realize it is way better and is probably way more beneficial to date outside of my race. And I will say that since moving to Washington State, I have dated men outside of my race. Okay. Specifically white men, but it's like varied, right? Like they'll just have ancestry from all these different places, right? I've dated a man who was, I think, Austrian, um, and your regular, everyday white American white man, right? And I will say that the level of trauma and entitlement is much less. Okay, it's just something that is much more peaceful and less traumatized when you are dating a white man. Now or someone outside of your race in general. Now there is downsides to dating outside of your race. Obviously, they're not going to be they're not going to understand certain things, they're not going to understand the way certain things work racially or whatever like that. And I have dated outside of my race before. What was like a Honduran, right? I dated a Honduran guy and experienced like racism when I'm not dating Black men. So I have experienced like not blatant racism, but that racism, right? Like misogyny and racism. And this is what I have to say about this is that before there was racism, there was misogyny. And the basis of racism is based in misogyny. That's the truth that a lot of people don't understand. The basis of racism is based in misogyny. Why? Because indigenous people of this world, Afro, Black, melanated indigenous people of this world originated in matriarchal societies. We have always been matriarchal. We have always worshiped the mother. We have always worshiped the goddess. We have always had that at the centerpiece of our spirituality. That has always been who we have been as a people. And when colonization began, there's other ways I can describe it, but when colonization began, that was the basis of what they wanted to destroy, was our relationship with the divine feminine and our honoring of the divine feminine, and replacing that with completely taking the woman out of the picture and putting the man at the centerpiece, putting the man at the forefront of everything. Okay? So before there was racism, there was misogyny, because our spirituality is based in the worshiping of the divine feminine, of our great mother. That is the basis of being our spirituality as melanated people. Because before religion and before um institutionalized religion, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, Buddhism, before all of that, we looked to the sky, we looked to the stars. We were grounded in the earth, which both realms are feminine, are inherently feminine. The earth is feminine, the universe is feminine, the cosmic forces of everything is feminine, and within the feminine you can find masculinity. When within the feminine you find the essence and the creation of masculinity. But at this life that we are existing in, this earth we exist on, this universe is feminine. And as melanated Afro-Indigenous people, quote unquote Black people, we knew that. We always knew that. And we honored that. We knew that. We honored that. We lived by that. It was in the way that we lived, it was in the way that we moved, it was in the way that we thought. So in order to conquer us, you gotta take that out the picture. You have to sever the connection with the mother, which is our relationship to spirituality. You have to sever that relationship completely. So before there was racism, there was misogyny, specifically the misogyny and the hatred towards Afro and Black Afro-Indigenous women, the mother of creation, the mother of this earth. So the racism, quote unquote racism, is still alive through our own community, through our own men, through our own people, really, because there's so many women who are still also under that same spell. People call it pick me, being a pick me, but baby, it is so much deeper than that. It is so much deeper than wanting to be chosen by a Black man. That shit is deep. For you to continuously uphold and defend Black men abandoning their children, Black men abusing women, Black men making the stupidest, most idiotic decisions. As a woman, you defend that, not consciously, because to consciously defend it, you would actually know what you're doing. You would actually see what you're doing. None of this stuff is conscious. It is all subconscious. It is all, again, spell work, witchcraft, and sorcery. Don't even play with it. That is exactly what it is. So I have a comment. Okay, Chrissy is here. Chrissy says, but let's get past racism. What's the real issue here? Because something is wrong with Black men and it ate us. It's not Black women that's the issue. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if you watched the beginning of this, but for those of you who, are popping in, definitely rewatch this entire video, because Black women are not the issue, but we can fall into being a part of the issue through the spell work and the witchcraft and the sorcery that's going on. But most Black women, we have that spirit. We already know what's going on, and because of us experiencing this on a vast and collective level, we're becoming more powerful, we're becoming more stronger, or I don't know if those are the best words to use, but we're becoming more wiser and spiritually powerful from all of this. It is doing nothing but pouring into our spiritual power and our spiritual capacity and to create a better reality when it comes to love and relationships, especially with men. I mean, what's going on right now, Black women are literally creating some of the best men on the planet. We are energetically creating some of the best men to exist on the planet right now because of all of this that's happening. So it looks like on the outside, it looks like it's bad. But I've talked about this on this channel before, on my Earth Feminine channel, and for like those of you who have been on my Aside Mystic channel, I've talked about this before. Anytime something perceivably negative is happening, especially on a vast collective level like this, something is being birthed through us, through our sacral energy. All of this pain that we've been going through is creating a whole lot of pleasure on the other side. A whole lot of pleasure on the other side. And for the women who are able to allow it in, for the women who are able to tap into that energy, is going to come a lot quicker. And that reality, this reality that I'm talking about, will be a whole nother like a whole nother world, a whole nother vortex, which honestly became my experience after I went through what I went through in my early 20s. So Black women are not the problem, but we are the we are the creators. We are the ones who have the creative power. We are the operant power. So I'm not one of those channels who are going to like not mention that, okay, and completely like victimize, okay? Yes, I acknowledge when we've been abused, we've been victimized, we have been attacked. That is absolutely true. But are we weak? Are we hopeless? Is there no hope for us? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. From that situation that I went through, I started manifesting some of the best relationships, some of the best dating experiences, some of like high caliber, high quality men that I had ever experienced. And I learned so much about myself in the meantime. So, okay, again, little mid reminder, if you are interested in signing up for Valued and Worthy and the bonus course that I'm going to be adding on to Valued and Worthy, which is the Love Potion, where I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to rewire your patterns, any patterns that you have, any old unconscious, subconscious wiring that is causing you to attract men who play out the same repetitive cycle, okay? The same repetitive cycle of toxicity, or it could just simply be a situation or reality that you just don't want. Rewiring that into aligning completely with the reality and the situation in your love life, in your love experience that you do want, then make sure that you send me a DM at my Instagram at Earth's Feminine and let me know that you are ready to be worshipped. The enrollment fee is $297 for both Valued and Worthy and the Love Potion. The love potion is teaching you all about love, how to magnetize love, how to have a man tap into the energy of love with you. So any of this spell work that I'm talking about won't even apply because love breaks all of that shit. Okay? So I'm teaching you how to step into your natural feminine energy, your dark feminine energy and your light feminine energy. I'm not going to be teaching it in the same way that like anybody else has taught it before. Okay? If you're interested in learning about that and rewiring those patterns, that is what the love potion is all about. If you want to add on and jumpstart really becoming a master manifestress, I'd rather say creatrix, a master creatrix, okay, and manifesting, understanding the way manifesting works for you as a woman when it comes to love and money. Okay, we're adding money into this. This is you rewiring your programming completely when it comes to your self-worth and how you see your value, okay? So that you can create and manifest windfalls of money and your dream love life. So those are the two things, okay? That I'm adding together for a limited time only. The pre-enrollment is $297. Either you can send me that DM to my Instagram at Earth Feminine, or you can go to the links down below in the description. Um okay, my loves. All right. So Chrissy says, "Who's doing the spell work?" Black men aren't evolving as human beings. They're not spiritually elevating into whole human beings. Something is wrong here. It's like we're stuck with Uncle Ruckus. um Who's doing the spell work? Who is doing the spell work? Do I need to tell you who's doing the spell work? Actually might have to tell you who's doing the spell work because this comes along with your spiritual awakening, okay? Also, for those of you who are, I'm streaming on both of my channels right now. My Asaya Mystic channel is my channel all that have centered around spiritual awakening and more spiritual topics. Earth Feminine is about my womanhood, money, manifestation, health, wealth, all of those things. So there you go. Subscribe to both if you haven't already. But who's doing the spell work? The answer is in the same energy and in the same entities that are and have colonialized and taken over the entire planet. That's who's doing the spell work. That's who's doing the spell work. And they laugh and they kiki and they ha ha when they see that the vast majority of Black people are not doing magic, are not tapped into magic, are not are pouring into the religions that they created, and all of their power is going into these religions, into these religious structures, into these religious systems. These people have been doing spell work on us. I don't know how y'all think that in the Black community certain things were able to happen. I don't know how y'all think certain things were able to happen in Africa and other places where melanin people are abundant. Wherever melanin people are abundant, just know that somebody did some spell work on that area and on that land. You don't think any spell work has been done on this land of America, you're highly mistaken. And it comes down to the very fabric of the way that our cities are built. It comes down to the very fabric of the way that our communities are numbered, and the way that our street, the names of our streets, and different ritual practices that they have done to even be able to live here, to numb the planet. You think the KKK, right, is just a hate mob, or was just a hate mob that hated Black people? No, they were being used. They were being used. So when I talk about spiritual entities, these entities have a purpose. How do you think, like, I think it's interesting that, like, Martin Luther King had a dream and the civil rights movement happened and all of that stuff. But do you think that that entity just died after that? Like, things changed for sure, but the spirit lived on. Okay. The spirit lived on. And the only way that you can become, or that spirit will be entrapped and have and cast out, is if you spiritually evolve. So yeah, this entire country, Black people all over the world, spell work, spell work. The whole reason that we entertain and we love degrading, self-deprecating music, okay? That hip hop was turned into self-deprecating music. Hip hop was turned into, like, literally just spell work. We just listening to spell work all day long, all day long. This is another thing I wanted to bring up, because a lot of these men who fall into this spell, who do they listen to? And this is what I was saying earlier in the live video, how these men are validated. But these men are validated because they're also musicians. They're also artists. Musicians, being a musician and being an artist is like being a spiritual god. Like, it's like being a spiritual in a spiritually hierarchical place. People literally will go to your concerts just to worship you on stage, channeling whatever energy you decide to channel. And if you are not privy to the things that you're going to worship, basically, so that you can be able to decide, yeah, that I'm not going to include that in my vibration, I'm not going to include that into my consciousness, then it's just going to do it. It's just going to do it on its own, subconsciously. That's why the conscious mind has power. When you become aware and you become awake, you now have power over what the subconscious mind would have just absorbed. So these artists, Drake, Chris Brown, Party Next Door, okay, all of these rappers, right? Like, they are influential, and not only that, but their music is enchanting. So I definitely, when I meet men and I listen and I watch the kind of music that he listens to, I want to know if he's aware of what's being communicated through these songs. I want to know if he's, on the up and up about whether or not he's gonna, like, that he subscribes to. So it's like listening to Pop Smoke, okay? But then not being aware that Pop Smoke literally was rapping about being a killer in the night. Like, Pop Smoke was like the, assassin, the Black New York assassin. Like, that his music was so dark. His music was so dark. So if you're dating a man who listen to Pop Smoke all the time, like, you want to know, like, are you aware? Like, are you conscious of what this man is talking about? Are you listening to it for a vibe? Are you really, like, absorbing everything from this? So I hope that answered your question, Chrissy. Or gave you clarity, a little bit more clarity of how this works. Okay. And all of these areas, right? These are areas of feminine energy. All of these areas are areas of feminine energy. Your spirituality, that's coming from your third eye, and the way that you're able to see and understand things, that's a feminine center in your body. Your heart is a feminine center in your body. Your sacral is a feminine center in your body. And I go deeper into this. I will be going deeper into this. Excuse me, and valued and worthy, because these are all centers that we manifest from as women. Okay, so let's get into some other things that I wanted to talk about. And once I'm done with these things, I don't know if you guys can see the link, but I'm offering, if you want to come onto the live and ask any questions or share your thoughts, the invite link is right there. So, all right. So, okay, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe and Jonathan Majors. Okay, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe and Jonathan Majors. Because their scenarios are super similar, but they're similar because these were Black men who decided to be with white women, and it didn't go so well for them. um, it didn't go so well for them. Okay, I wanted to bring something up when it comes to these situations. Um, because what I've heard a lot of other creators mention is that oh, hold on, someone says they don't see the link, and one says they don't see the link. um you don't see the link. Okay, let me take a look. Okay, let me see if I'll put it put it in this one. Oh, it's right at the top. I just pinned it, so you should see it. It's right at the top. And I don't know what channel. If you're on my Asaya, are you on my? Oh, okay. Um. So okay. So yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Shannon Sharpe and Jonathan Majors. Okay. And some people were saying like that Black men, when they get successful and all these things, like basically they were saying that Black men have this desire to want to be like white men or to want to do what white men do. When they get all this money, when they get all this power, they want to start acting the way white men act and living their life in the way that white men live their life and do things. And that there are repercussions that come forth when they try to do this. And to that, I have to say that that is absolutely true. Okay. Black men cannot do the same things that white men do and get away with it. And the reason being is not, I would say, not exactly what people think. Okay. The reason being is because Black men, and this is the same thing that I had to ask myself and think to myself after I went through what I went through um in my Halle Bailey and DGG type situation when I was in my early 20s. I asked myself, like, why, like, what is going on? Like, why? Because I'm asking myself, like, it seems like this man is like doing whatever he wants and getting away with it, doing whatever he wants and getting away with it. And I would say in those scenarios, when it seems like it's taking super, super long for a man to get his karma for the way that he's moving and the way that he's treating women is ancestral protection, okay? And also, Black men have a different bloodline, okay? They have a different bloodline, they have a different ancestry, they have different spirit guides, okay? It's just different. It's just different. And what I perceive is that things happen much faster and karma comes much quicker um when Black men try to do um hate the same thing that white men do, especially when they try to do it to white women. It just comes like the karma comes immediately, like not immediately, but it just comes a lot quicker. So there's two edges of the sword, and I want to be clear with how I'm communicating this, is that one edge of the sword is that their ancestral connection or the ancestors that they have are protecting them, and they're trying to get them to wake up. So they'll continuously be brought before they have to atone, because you always have to atone. There is always an atonement. I don't care what nobody say. People think that people get away with stuff. You don't never get away with nothing in this life. You don't get away with shit. Nothing. Nothing in this life do you ever get away with. Your soul remembers, this earth remembers, the universe, God remembers. We know. If you don't act like you know, we know. So there will always be an atonement. And what happens is when you have that strong ancestral protection, when you have that bloodline of ancestry that is rooting for you, okay, they're going to give you several attempts, several tries at atoning, okay, at righting your wrongs and fixing what you did, okay? You just gonna get several attempts. They will get these attempts through the opportunity, right, to just do the right thing. It could be by the person that they hurt, or it could be by a completely new woman, okay? But usually they get multiple different opportunities to atone and to be a righteous man and to do the right thing. And what happens is they just they ignore it, okay? They ignore it. They ignore the chances. They move with arrogance. They move with ego. That's that whole narcissism thing, okay? That I was talking that I've been talking about. You can watch my sacred masculine energy archetypes through the planets video on my Earth Feminine channel. Um they get several chances to atone, and the truth and the reality is that they just choose not to atone. They choose not to fix their mistakes. And when they try to play the games of white men, especially with white women, it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out for this reason. So yeah, there is definitely a huge, or I would say a deep level of magic, sorcery, and spell work that is being done onto the minds of Black men. Some Black men are just so spiritually, like, I mean, I don't know. It's like no, like the the spells, or I would say the the intentions and the protection that your great 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 grandmother tried to do over your lineage, tried to do over you, is getting weak. It's getting weak. And there needs to be a new collective thing that happens, because I know when I think about having a son, when I think about, the potential of having a son, the main thing on my mind is protecting him from all of this, because a son is a very pure spirit. Not to say your daughters aren't pure, but your daughters have a different energy than your sons would. Your sons have this purity to them. This purity to them that when in unison with the divine feminine, when in unison with um the divine order of life, is incredibly powerful. It's incredibly powerful. Your daughters are different. Okay, your daughters are different. Okay. They're an orb and a whole force field of energy in and of themselves. They're goddesses, right? They're powerful goddesses. Like someday that there will be men falling at their feet wanting to serve them, right? It's different when you have sons. Your sons are wanting to be in service to you. They're wanting to be good boys. And what happens when that's tainted? You know, so the main thing that comes to my mind when I think of having sons is that that part of him needs to be covered and protected. His innocence, right, needs to be protected. And I have my own philosophies, right, on like how boys should be raised versus how girls should be raised. Also, like respecting their individuality, of course, but in order for them to develop their masculine and feminine archetypes and traits, there is a different way that each one, I believe, should be reared. Whoops, excuse me. Um, so yeah, what do y'all think? What is going on with y'all? If anybody wants to come on and ask any questions, now's the time. The link is pinned. Let me go to my other channel and see. The link is pinned. So if anybody wants to come on and share their thoughts or ask any questions, now's the time to do so. It is the Gemini new moon. So I think I might go onto my other channel and talk about that. Let me see. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm on my Asaya channel. I'm about to pin the comment. Oh man, I have not. I have I have neglected my Asaya channel. I've neglected my Asaya channel. I will be back. I will be back, but I'm here right now. So for those of you who are live with me on Asaya, I love you so much. Okay. Yes. All right, y'all. Anybody want to come on? Would anybody like to come on? I don't want to force you. No pressure. But I think that I pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I've never actually done the invite link before, so I don't even know if it's working. Let me see. So, yeah, let me know if the link is working, y'all. Let me know if the link is working that I pinned at the top. Woo. Okay, so yeah, so um once again, if you are ready to begin manifesting, you're scared to join. I mean, you don't have to have your camera on. For those of you who don't want to show your face, you don't have to show your face. Um, it's no biggie, but I mean, there's nothing to be scared of unless you don't have nothing to say. um, but no, I wanna start doing that, opening up the floor so I can know, who I'm talking to, my audience, get to know y'all a little better. But yeah, so once again, the banner has everything. It's laying out everything. You can go to www.earthfeminine.com. And if you are interested in purchasing the Wealthy Women Activation Training, it's only $27. It teaches you the 3 most important steps that you need to take in order for you to start rewiring your identity and how you relate to money and love now. Um, I had a woman took the Wealthy Women Activation Training, and she has been using this training like it's intended for you to be able to use for the rest of your life. Honestly, for the rest of your life. And she has been using it. When she first used it, she manifested, I believe, $8,000. I don't know if I have that picture of her testimonial, but it's in the link. She manifested, I think, like a few $1,000s. I don't know how many thousands. I think it was 8, but she manifested like $8,000 like within 1 week of her taking the Wealthy Women Activation Training. And then a month later, she messaged me letting me know that she had manifested a new apartment for her to move into, that she just got her keys. And I mean, she was like on a roll. I had a lot of people, I would say not a lot, but I don't know, a good handful of people enroll into the course. And she was like on it when she got the training. She applied the 3 steps. So the Wealthy Women Activation Training can literally transform your relationship with money, and the way that you relate to love and relationships overnight. So if there's something you've been wanting to manifest, the Wealthy Woman Activation Training, when it comes to money and love, it's going to get you on that path super quick. Um, so you can purchase that at www.earthfeminine.com. The Soft Life Experience is an add-on to the Wealthy Woman Activation Training via that link. And there are 2 bonuses that actually I've included in the Soft Life Experience that you can check out on the sales page. I can't remember what the bonuses are right now, but they're super dope. There are trainings that I did in my $5,000 program on Lunar Feminine Freedom. I'm sharing access to those 2 trainings in the Soft Life Experience. So you can get access to that and also start learning how you can really step into being provided for and devoted to by men, being financially supported, and also start having faith in yourself to manifest without having to slave yourself away and compromise and do things that you don't want to do. This is about you fully stepping into your light and your relationship with your own wealth as a woman. So that the link is down below, earthfeminine.com. The Creatrix Academy, that is where I have all of my courses, all of my programs for you to enroll into. If you want to um, get access to everything and have one-on-one coaching with me, there's also a bundle to be able to enroll into that. It's called the Creatrix Unleashed. And for what I am offering right now, the main thing that I am going to be working on in the Creatrix Academy is, number one, I'm going to be updating Valued and Worthy to include a good chunk of some new information, and the love potion. Okay, the love potion is designed for you to step into your dark feminine energy and your light feminine energy, combine the two, and allow that to basically magnetize, and basically it's teaching you how to get a man to fall like deeply in love with you. um on top of that, we're going to be rewiring and recoding everything that is causing you to attract cheaters, players, men who don't prioritize you, um liars, whatever the pattern is in your life. We're rewiring that and coding that to become actually what is aligned for you in love, what you are meant to experience in love. A lot of times we stay stuck, okay, in this trap of what men are doing to us and what men are doing, and men are like this and men are like that. But really, the law of attraction and the law of assumption still applies. And we have power over what we bring and usher into our life, all through our imagination and what our subconscious mind is aligning with. So I'm teaching you how to manifest through the love potion and also Valued and Worthy. This is like the nuts and bolts in Valued and Worthy of how to do this. The enrollment fee is $297 for a limited time only. The original price for these two combined is over $1,000. So if you're wanting to sign up, send me a DM. We're going to be getting started this month. Send me a DM at earthfeminine.com. I mean, not at earthfeminine.com. To my Instagram at earthfeminine. Or you can click the links down below in the description. So yeah, now that that's done, if anybody has anything they want to say, this is your last chance before I get ready to hop off. You can click the link pinned at the top of this live video. Great stream. Thank you, N1. I'm going to be streaming almost every day for this next week. So you will be able to catch me live this entire week. Okay, let me switch over. Okay. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow around the same time, 1:33 p.m. Yep, I will see you all tomorrow. Or yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, I will see you all tomorrow around the same time. I'll try to get the live going at 11 a.m. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. And yeah, have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace.